Not gonna lie, bro. Like, you just got it, bro. You gotta put some respect on those right there, bro. You just got to. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You seen these? You're automatically required to give at least a cool 2 minutes of glaze to another grown man. You gotta glaze another grown man for at least a total of 2 minutes minimum.
Say what? Huh?
When you see him pop out with these, you gotta glaze him just a little bit, bro. Hey, so what's good, y'all? We back at it again, man, and we doing the Jordan 4 everybody waited 13 years. Damn. Toro Bravo 2026 review. So I'm assuming they released this year. 13 years, man. What took them so long? And like, is the hype worth it? I don't know, man. I feel like we all finna see in this video, but without further ado, let's get to it.
These are the Air Jordan 4 Toro Bravos, one of the most legendary non-OG Air Jordan sneakers ever made.
Okay.
The crazy thing though is that they only released this pair once, back in 2013. Now 13 years later, Jordan Brand is bringing them back. However, sneakerheads are already arguing that they're not the same. Toro Bravo 4s are by far one of the most anticipated returns this year in 2026. There's a lot of pairs that people have been excited about.
Hold on, y'all.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right, we good? We good? My bad. I just had to see if we were recording. I know. Rookie mistake. My fault.
But the hype for this shoe is kind of next level. I mean, in a lot of ways, it kind of makes sense because this pair first released back in 2013. The hype for it really grew in 2014 around that sort of Red October phase. And whether you're an older sneakerhead or a younger sneakerhead, you do probably remember the original release of this pair, or at least remember seeing the resale prices of this pair being high. So even though it's an all bright red pair of Air Jordan 4s, it's definitely one that people are going to be excited about. And I do think it's a pair that's probably going to end up selling out quickly. The way that I think about these is it's like one of those like OG non-OGs. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those pairs.
I ain't gonna lie, these don't look too bad though, but like, why did it take 13 years to release these? What was the deal there? But I ain't gonna lie, I'd rock with these. Outside of red, black, white, and gray, you can't really rock much with these, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Kind of like the Fear Pack 3s or even the Fear 4s that over the last 10 or so years built up this aura of being like one of the must-have Jordan 4s. And it really seems like that's the case with the Toro Bravo 4s. But like I mentioned, there's already debate happening online of whether this pair is as good as the original. For anyone that hasn't seen the discussions online, the thought is that the 2026 pair is duller than the original, which is funny to me because in pictures, the original didn't ever really look that.
Oh, I see. So they were a remake of a shoe that was originally released. I see. All right. Well, 13 years, I would say they're worth the wait, but like they could have released them sooner. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. Are y'all rocking these? Y'all wearing those?
At like saturated red, but maybe it was. I mean, I've seen pairs in hand, but it's been a minute. I guess last SneakerCon is the last time I saw a pair in hand. The other change being discussed is that the shape of the 2026 pair is different than the 2013 pair. However, unlike the color change, people do seem to be more excited about that second one. And we'll talk about why that is in a little bit. Before we do that though, let's talk about how you can grab a pair of these Toro Bravo 4s for yourself. Now I grabbed my pair early through the resale market. I bought my pair from Fine Line 1721, but if you do want to grab a pair of these on release day, they release on May 2nd for a retail price of $220. Now of course, you can grab these on the resale market, and I've made sure to leave affiliate links and links through the YouTube shopping tab. Of course, if you grab any shoes from those links, it does give a small kickback to the channel, so I do appreciate that. But the good news is, if you want to grab a pair of these early, the resale price is high. Because we are still like a month and a half, 2 months out, but it's not as crazy as I think it could have been if this shoe had retroed like 3 years ago. Quick heads up, if you guys want to discuss the sneaker community with me and some other like-minded people on Core, make sure to join my Core community through the QR code on your screen. Not only that, if you get that Core badge and the 2 other Core badges this month, you're entered to win an Apothecary prize pack. So it's a win-win. You got to enter a community of like-minded people and you can win some socks, which is a plus. But really quick, let's talk about the packaging for this pair, which is different than the original, and it does seem like something that Jordan Brand is gonna be doing a lot in 2026, and that is the retro-inspired Michael Jordan face box. You've got
like if you look real close, they got his face outline on the boxer. That's new. I haven't seen that before, but hey, it works.
this sort of dual-toned silver or gray on the top of the box with Michael Jordan's face, kind of created with these thinner and thicker lines, which I like a lot. I think it's a really cool detail. Obviously no Jumpman on the top of the box, although you do have the original Jumpman right there, Michael Jordan. The rest of the box is relatively plain. It comes in black, On one side, you've got the Jumpman, and then on the front of the box, you've got the size tag. In my case, I got a size 9 because you guys all know this. I'm a true to size 9, so that's the way that I always go. And the official colorway of this pair is fire red, white, black. It's funny because a lot of different Jordan 4s have colorways that sound very similar to that. And as you may already know, the Air Jordan 4 Toro Bravo is inspired by the Chicago Bulls, which is also the reason why the Toro Bravos have that nickname, because it translates to fighting bull or brave bull.
Interesting.
Getting back to the box though, inside the box you do have this white splatter print paper that comes with gray splatters. You've got some white paper underneath, and then of course you've got the shoes themselves. Now one interesting detail is that there is actually a tag on one of the shoes. And it's not the tag you would expect. It's not your Nike Air tag that you usually find in Air Jordan 4s. This pair also doesn't come with any extra sets of laces either, so if you're hoping for that, unfortunately you don't get that. You do, however, get this tag that says, "Note, color variation in nubuck leather is natural and a sign of quality leather. Each pair is unique." I won't speculate on that, although I want to. I mean, it's not wrong. Quality leather is unique. Question is this actually quality leather? I won't get into that discussion because apparently it bothers a lot of people.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
This red nubuck though does cover a majority of the upper of the shoe. You have it on the mud guard, you have it on the toe. It actually wraps all the
I ain't gonna lie, these hoes, it's clean though. They clean, I can't cap. Nah, I'm saying.
wear on the back of the shoe and then around the top of the ankle. Now I will say that it does seem like the material is different than the previous pair based on pictures and then also based on what I remember of the original pair. The original pair felt more like, I guess more of like a Durabuck. It felt more synthetic. I will say this does, again from what I remember, feel more like actual nubuck than Durabuck. It has a little bit of a
on feet though. Hey, hold on.
Swish.
Hold on, man. On feet, these do look kind of clean. On feet, I ain't gonna lie, man. On feet, bruh, I'm gonna have to snag me a pair. No kid shop. That might have to go on the bucket list, bruh.
Pattern to it, not much, but like you can sort of see color changing when you do this. It does feel buttery. It doesn't feel bad. I will say.
Y'all bear with me
most
for a
Jordan
second. My
nubuck,
audio
it does
just cut
feel
out.
nice.
2,000 years later.
Personally, I think I prefer like hairy suede when it comes to Jordan sneakers. That's just
Y'all
totally
can
personal
hear it?
preference. I just like hairy suede on sneakers. I also like tumbled leather, which again, tumbled leather is just a texture that's added. It's not like an indicator of quality or anything like that. But when it comes to the actual texture and the finishes, I think I prefer hairy suede and tumbled leather. So if I was to make another leather sneaker, that's what I would. I think the pair that I made, the pair that I made was nubuck, the We Are Underdogs pair.
Them hoes is too clean on the feet, boy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You pull up to the basketball court with these, I ain't gonna lie. I'ma automatically think you dropping a cool 40 on the head. Cool 40 on the head top. Know what I'm saying? You pull up to the court with these, you might get first pick. Not gonna lie, bro. Like, you just got it, bro. You gotta put some respect on those right there, bro. You just got to. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You seen these, you're automatically required to give at least a cool 2 minutes of glaze to another grown man. You gotta glaze another grown man for at least a total of 2 minutes minimum.
Say what? Huh?
When you see him pop out with these, you gotta glaze him just a little bit, bro. It just is what it is. Like, these is like, bro, you cannot not respect those, bro. You cannot not recognize these, bro. Know what I'm saying? Recognize these for what it is, bro. This is art right here. Look at the colorways, man. Look how everything just comes together. Oh my God. They got the nice little sleek, subtle gray on the bottom topped out with the white, the black on top of that. Then they got the little inside the shoe thing, bro. That's how you know it's a newer model, because a lot of older shoes weren't doing this right here, where you can see the mechanics inside the shoe. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Jordan, man. Great marketing move. Then they got the nice little red on top. Feel me? Little black and red cage right here. Nice little gray accessories. Subtle, but it does the job. Nice little black here. You got the Jordan logo on the back there. Black laces to top it off. They did their big one with these. I can't lie, bro. They did their job with those.
Was nubuck and tumbled leather. This really doesn't feel bad though. From what I'm hearing online and from what I remember, it does feel like the nubuck is better, or it feels better than the original
They look
pair.
comfortable.
Now the change that's getting the most commentary online is the fact that this nubuck does seem to be a duller red than the original Toro Bravo 4s. And to be honest with you, I can see that. I mean, if you see photos of these two shoes, maybe not even side by side, but just in photos, it's like, yeah, there is definitely a color difference there. Now, do I prefer the brighter 4s or these duller 4s? I don't know. Now, the reason that I personally think that it's duller is not because they wanted to make it significantly duller, it's just because of the nature of the material itself. I think this material just looks a little bit duller. It looks more like a matte finish than maybe that Durabuck did. But again, I shouldn't keep prefacing
I'm
this,
not
but
complaining
I don't have
though.
the other
Those
pair in
look
hand to, like,
fire.
really compare side by side. That being said though, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you prefer the more saturated red or the duller red? Let me know in the comment section down below. I think I'd take the nicer material over the brighter color. As much as I do like bright red Jordan sneakers, well, not entirely red Jordan sneakers, but when it comes to this, like this is about the percentage of red that I'd want on my sneaker. I'm fine with it. I'll be honest with you. I understand the appeal of the brighter red, but for me, it's not a deal breaker. Of course, this shoe comes with all the classic Air Jordan 4 hits, like the netting, which in this case comes in red with some black mesh underneath. You've got the gray wings on the top and the bottom of the tongue area. You've got these black flat laces, which again, you don't get an extra set of laces, at least not that I found inside the shoe. So that's what you get. I like
It
the
all
black
comes
laces, so I've seen
together
a lot of
quite
people switching out
nicely.
for white laces or red laces. I think black laces are the way to go. Obviously, so does Jordan Brand, because that's what they gave you as the only option. The tongue comes in the same nubuck material. You've got this gray tongue patch with the Jumpman in white with red flight text underneath. This is actually another part of the shoe that's different than the original 2013 pair. If you look back at the 2013 pair, you'll notice that the tongue of that shoe is much more similar to the other Air Jordan 4s of that era, the crappy Jordan 4 era, which is where the second big change of this shoe comes in. The original Toro Bravo 4s were not comfy, from what I've heard. I know Jordan 4s from that era. I have Jordan 4s from that era, and they kind of sucked. I still don't love.
These look comfortable though. My bad for that, y'all. Just tap my mic. These look comfortable though. I'm not gonna lie. These do look kind of comfortable. Like, I feel like I could walk around in these. Like, no cap, I feel like I could definitely walk around in those and not have no issues. Certain Jordans though, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Some of them just don't be comfortable like that, bro. They look good, but they ain't that comfortable. Know what I'm saying?
The new Jordan 4s, I still don't think they're the comfiest shoes out there. Maybe it's because I've got higher arches, I don't know. But I will say my experience in this shoe has been good. It feels like a regular pair of Air Jordan 4s. And the shape of this shoe is different than the 2013 pair. I mean, you look at it from different angles, you can see the toe box is shaped in a way that fits your toes better. I think it's really just a bit wider. The overall shape of the shoe is much more consistent with the modern pairs. I'd say it's probably even more consistent with like the original pairs than the 2013 pairs. Sort of that 2010 to 2018 era of Jordan Brand, a lot of shoes had just completely different shapes than the originals. I mean, you look at the Jordan 1s from like 2015, 2016. Those shoes look nothing like the 1985 Jordan 1s. Well, that's an exaggeration. I mean, they're Jordan 1s. They look similar. But if you look at them side by side, it's got this really curved back on it. It's got this completely different front shape, almost a different shoe altogether. And I'm glad that they went back to more of the 85 cut of the Jordan 1s, or they have versions that are the 85 cut of the Jordan 1s. Same thing with the Jordan 4s. This shoe has gotten a bit truer to the OG. There's obviously still differences there, but compared to some of the 2015, 2013, 2014 pairs, they're a more comfortable shoe overall. That 2015 era, that whole era was interesting because Jordans were hot for like the first 5 years of the 2010s. And then like, you know, from 2016 to 2020, it slowed down a little bit. And then of course 2020, it just exploded again. But that era was such an interesting time because shoes felt so different than they do now. So I don't know, just a thought. The original pair, very reminiscent of that era. This pair, a lot closer to what we get now. And that's probably a good thing because this shoe is probably more comfortable than the original. Now inside the shoe, you get this light gray sock liner around the heel. You get this black liner on the back of the tongue with your upside down Air Jordan tag. You also get this insole that comes in red, pretty soft, feels decent underfoot. It's not anything crazy. And to answer all of your fit questions, which
I would say though, the gray inside lining isn't terrible. I feel like had they went black on them, would have been way better. Not gonna lie, but that's just me.
sure you have if you're looking at a new pair of sneakers that you want to pick up, and you probably already know my answer. But this shoe, it's a modern Jordan 4. The good news is that Jordan Brand, when they have a tooling that they like, they don't often switch it up unless they really need to for whatever reason. Maybe they're changing the silhouette, maybe it's a special edition version of the shoe, whatever the case may be. So because of that, I would say that this Jordan 4 fits like every other recent release Jordan 4s. For me, I like going true to size. Everyone's feet are different. You have wider feet, thinner feet, longer feet, shorter feet. Either way, I feel like this shoe is true to size. Whatever you generally buy in Jordan 4s is what you should buy. I think if you have the chance to try this pair on in store, which might not be easy because I do think this pair will move very quickly. Last year, there's a ton of 4s sitting on shelves.
Those are definitely going to sell out quick, boy. So if I want to get me a pair, I need to get on it fast. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if there still are, but I think you should try and hit up your local Foot Locker, see what they got, see if you can try something on in your size. If you're buying them online though and you've never bought a pair of 4s before, which is true for some people, a lot of people have, but other people haven't, I think you should be fine going true to size. Comfort-wise, as we've already covered a little bit, it's fine. It's your regular Jordan 4 comfort. After wearing them all day, sure, they're not gonna feel the best, especially not compared to like modern running sneakers or like the retro runners that everyone's wearing right now. Moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got a black TPU heel tab with a white Jumpman in the center, which is exactly what you had on the 2013 pair. I would not have been surprised one bit if they decided decided to give this a Nike Air logo on the heel like they've been doing with a lot of their non-OGs recently. Maybe you feel differently, but leave those comments in the comment section down below. Actually, also let me know down there what you think of this new Apothecary Korean sock collection combo with these shoes. We've got a 4-sock Korea-inspired collection dropping this Friday on apothecary.com. I think the Korean flag sock goes crazy with the shoe. Obviously, it goes crazy with where are they at? Where are they at though? With the Soul 3s that just dropped last year, which are actually the resale price on these is stupid low right now. You might have also seen in some B-roll shots of me wearing them with these from the same collection. I think this is another cool combo. It's kind of more Christmassy. I still think green and red just always goes together. It's the opposite sides of the color wheels.
You gotta retire those socks, my boy. I ain't gonna lie, it's giving Unk vibes for real. Know what I'm saying? Just because I may be your stage of life right now doesn't mean we have to embrace it just yet.
They always kind of work together relatively well. A lot of colors actually go pretty well with the red shoe, more than I would expect. So if you want to check out the Korean-inspired collection dropping this Friday or any Apothecary socks, check out the links in the description below and use code SETH for $10 off of your first order. Moving down on the sneaker though, you've got this white and black midsole. The black paint is relatively glossy, glossier than other Air Jordan 4s. One thing that's really interesting that we don't usually see on Jordan 4s is that the outsole rubber of the shoe comes in this sort of dark gray, but usually that outsole rubber color continues.
I keep telling people, bro, you gotta start paying attention to the bottom of the sneaker, bro.
He ain't lying.
Now this isn't crazy, but like it just look, man. It just makes sense, you know? It's one of those things you look at this, you'll look and be like, man, this makes sense right here. This makes sense, you know? It's just nice to see things that make sense because I've seen a lot of the bottom of a lot of shoes that have come out recently and a lot of it look like some bullshit. Pretty much the Nike Mine, 001s, whatever those were, bruh. Y'all gotta start, you know what I'm saying? Nike, man. Y'all gotta start modeling after Jordan, bro. Look at the bottom of these right here, bro. Does any of this scream bullshit to you? No, it doesn't.
To wrap up over top of the midsole in the same color. In this case, it's a white rubber instead, which is, again, not something you see a lot. Look at any pair of Air Jordan 4s that you have in your collection, unless you have a pair that has this detail. From what I found, it's pretty rare for this color to be different than this color. And that's really cool that they did that on this colorway. Obviously, it was done on the 2013 pair as well. And I think it's something that makes this pair of Jordan 4s more unique than it already is. You can see the split here, too, on the medial side as well, which is interesting. I think the reason they generally do it in the same color is because although there is a parting line here from where the mold kind of separates, it's a lot easier to, rather than mold two colors, mold one color at once. And that's generally, my guess is why they do it that way. But on this shoe, no, they went for a white, which is cool, it's unique. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, even the pillars in the Air unit on the midsole are also white. I would have expected red, but they went white, which is probably what they did with the original. I never even thought to look, but there you go. The rest of the bottom of the shoe though is pretty standard. You got black hits, you've got a red Jumpman in the center, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So what do you prefer, the duller red on this newer Nubuck material, or do you prefer the brighter red on that older Durabuck? I personally think I would lean more towards this newer one just because I like the material better, but the color obviously is not as bright, it's not as vibrant. So I completely understand it.
It don't need to be though. It don't need to be. It can just be what it is, bruh. This right here, this is calm. This is calm right here. No cap.
Something you don't like as much. Will that stop people from buying the shoe? No. This is going to be one of the hottest pairs of Jordan 4s all year. I don't think it's gonna be like super limited. I think it's going to be more of a GR release than anything else, but I don't think it's going to sit around. I think this is one of those pairs that, like with a lot of the other pairs we saw this year, will probably fly off shelves. Definitely a cool pair of shoes, definitely one that a lot of people are excited about, and one that I'm happy to have in the collection. But hey, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you all in the next one.
Hey, shout out my boy Seth with the nice video, bruh. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end this off. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sleaxzegang, we going to do it to him. God is good. We give God all the glory. Peace out, man.